Hello
Yeah,
everyone,
perfect.
and welcome to our new webinar. I am Jelena, lead product manager at Agremo, and I'm really happy to have you all here today. Today with us is Shin from DJI Agriculture company, Kamden, co-owner at MidwestAir drones from USA, and I guess you already know him, it's Luka, our head of sales. Before we start, I will quickly go through housekeeping rules. So the webinar length, it will be approximately 45 minutes. All participants are muted. And please use your Q&A feature. After presentation, we will have a Q&A session and we will try to answer on all your questions. The webinar recording will be sent to you probably tomorrow. Today, my colleagues will present the latest DJI Agriculture drone innovations, full integration between Agremo and DJI spraying drones. And Kamden and Luka will present several worldwide use cases, like how to achieve faster field monitoring, early plant counting for planting decision, variable rate and spraying application, green snap detection. After that, as I said, we will have a Q&A section. So I think it is enough from my side, and let's get started. Luka, the stage is yours.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining. Shin, Kamden, thank you for participating here. Pretty excited to have you on this webinar. So today we are going to talk about the some real use cases that we had in 2025. It was a pretty exciting year. We launched a lot of new features and the new tools we presented in our last webinar. But together with our users and our partners, we build a lot of successful use cases in crop monitoring and variable rate applications. So for all the new participants, I'll do the quick introduction about the Agremo and what we do. So Agremo is a precision ag platform designed for crop monitoring and field analytics. Our main goal is to improve the field scouting. So we're using the drones and our house-built AI analytics to provide important information about the crop performance. This is a short history about the Agremo. We started in 2015. We started to build the first AI analysis, and we built the first stand count AI stand count analysis in 2016. And this is the things that we started to be recognized in this whole market. In 2016, also, it was important for us because we were there in the US market and the first FAA Part 107 regulation started, so the drones were allowed to fly there. And then we started to move forward, build the plant health analysis with Vigor in 2017, and then launch our first app and start commercially to sell the licenses. In 2018, together with the John Deere, we built the first variable rate applications. We did the first testing with their machines and do the first herbicides application. Then fully integrated next year with the John Deere Operations Center. 2020, we built the damage detection analysis. In 2022 was also a very important year for us where we built together with DJI the first green on green weed detection and sprayed with the drones. And then in 2025-26, we continue our collaboration with DJI doing more and more exciting use cases that we will demonstrate right now. This is the map with our customers. Our main market is the US and Europe, but we are also present everywhere where the plants are grown. You can see we don't have any customers only in deserts and Tibet, I would say, in Russia. To summarize what we are doing and how our crop monitoring system look like for the end users, for the farmers. So this is growing calendar of the corn. So when we say the crop monitoring and improving the field scouting and trying to automatize the footwork, these are the information that we are providing. And this is in this webinar, we will go through the use cases that are specific for this crop monitoring workflow. So in early stages, starting from V2, we can do the first flights, and you will be able to get the information such as the stand counts, germination rate, weed detection, water logging. You can also get the elevation map. You can create accurate field boundaries for your tractors and drones. You can also download the orthomosaic or get the orthophoto and see the fields from above. So basically, everything that the farmers or consultants are doing manually in the early stages, you will be able to do it quickly with the drone and with the power of the AI and get the full field analysis. In the later stages, you can measure the crop performance with our vigor analysis. You can also evaluate the operations of the fertilizer and herbicides with vigor and weed analysis, check the NDVI indexes, and follow the crop performance. You can also do the variable rate maps for the fertilizers and herbicides and make significant savings in the ag inputs. In the later stages with the Agremo, you can follow the health of the plants, track the development of the plants, and if the damage occurs, you can do the damage detection analysis. This is very important if the lodgings or green snap happens throughout the season. You have the reliable solution to measure the damage. This is also designed for the farmers, for the service providers, but also for the insurance adjusters. So just to connect this whole mapping calendar and what we do with the real case scenarios, I will present the 4 use cases that I choose from 2025 that are very interesting for me, and I would like to share and better explain to you. So the first one is related to the crop monitoring. This is the use case that was done with a organic producer from the Canada. I think I saw the Allison that's somewhere in the audience as well. Hi. This is the use case that they were using the Agremo to improve and to get the faster field monitoring. So these are the results that they get. So they will do it first, second, and third flight that I demonstrate. And the main thing in the early stages is the plant counting. So before doing it with the food scouting or on their 1,000 acres, around 1,000 acres, I think the farm is. They needed 3 to 4 weeks. With the drones and the Agremo, they can finish all the plant counting within the 1 week. With the advantages and more accurate results, where they were able to get 100% of their field analyzed. And in the later stages, they were requesting the plant health reports, where they are software pointing out the zones where they need to go out and take a look and do the deeper inspection on what was going on. So instead of the spending, they say 4 hours per field with the Agremo, they can do it in 1 hour and do more accurate, more objective field inspection. So the next use case is the reducing the fertilizers. This is the case that we did with our partner Volitant. I didn't check out whether somebody from Volitant is there, but if you are, hi, thank you for joining us. This is the case that they did on the 31-acre cornfield. So this is the second flight that I was showing in the mapping calendar. So they wanted to do the application of the fertilizers. They were using DJI T50 and Mavic 3M series. Mavic 3M for the mapping. They used here the regular RGB map, but just to explain this case. So the first image over here shows the cornfield in V5. These are the results of our plant vigor analysis. So the blue color is the zone with excellent vigor, green one is good vigor, and the yellow one is poor vigor. But just to dig a little bit deeper into the plant vigor analysis, how it works. So it's pretty simple. It shows the variability in the plant development based on the plant height, leaf color, and canopy coverage. To translate it as simple as possible, tall plant, dark green, excellent vigor. Short plant, light green, poor vigor, and somewhere in between we have the zones that differentiate, which is the good vigor. So they used our fertilizer tool, this image over here, and they did the pretty simple spraying map. So they used two zones with maximum and minimum dosage and apply the fertilizers with the drone. So basically they made the savings on 36%, which in this case for this field was around 800 US dollars. And these are the results. So you can see after a few weeks, the changes between how these zones with poor vigor were translated to the zones with excellent vigor. So the case is pretty simple. Map a field with the drone, create a spraying map, maximum and minimum dosage, and here are the results. So please go ahead and check out this use case. It's also on our website where you can see the full story about the flight time, all the perimeters, how they were used, and at the end, the savings. So, but just to say now, it was around $800 for 31.8 acre field. The next use case is done in Turkey. I saw Burçak that was here. We did it with our friend from Turkey, Burçak Sevim. Hello, Burçak. Thank you for joining us. And this is the case in rice where they sprayed the herbicides application. So in this particular field, they were using DJI Dock 2, Matrice 3D, and DJI T50 for spraying. This case was also pretty simple. They were requesting the weed detection analysis, software detected the weeds. They were using spraying tool, 3 zones, and apply the different rates. So they were applying with the zones with high weed pressure, 40 liters, in this 20 liters, and in the zones with no weeds, they didn't spray anything. The savings was 88% compared to the flat rate, which was close to 700 or 800 euros per this field, which was around $12 euros per hectare. You also have this same use case with all the flight perimeters on our website. So I think Jelena is here sending the links so you can read the full stories. And the use case that I described as the last one, the damage detection. If this happened, if you insure the fields, or if you are working as a drone service provider, you have with the Agremo, you have the solution for these cases where you can do the job for the insurance companies as well, but also for the farmers. The case is pretty simple. We had the strong wind that destroyed the plants. So the wind was blowing, you can see the patterns through the middle of the field. So it was hard for anyone to spot the damage that happens. So they were different. It's always the case with us and with the partners where they're using Agremo in this as a second opinion, where they have the argument on what was the damage when they're doing the damage assessment. So in majority of the cases, they were calling either us, either our partners to do the mapping, to do the analysis, because this is the most transparent way of doing the damage assessment. As you can see, you have the whole field preview, you have the deep and accurate analysis saying exactly what is the damage in the field and where it is, so anyone can get the access to the field, check out what's analyzed, and get the information. So that's all for me now. Feel free to write the questions here. At the end, we will answer all the questions, and please check out the all details about these use cases on our website. I will now let our dear Shin to present us what's new in DJI. Shin, please go ahead.
Huge thanks to the Agremo team, to all of our users from all over the world for having me here today. It's been about 2 years since our first webinar together. Back then, we were just starting to show what was possible. And today, the collaboration between Agremo and DJI Agriculture has evolved into a complete, reliable ecosystem for precision farming. So today, I would like to reintroduce our new models and their highlighted features, because I said reintroduce because we've launched these 3 models several months ago, in the Agritechnica in Hanover for the Europe market. So to meet the diverse needs of global farmers, we have products in 3 tiers featuring the T100, T70P, and T25P. And the T100 is our new flagship designed for heavy-duty, large-scale operations, and it features a coaxial dual-rotor design, which is the same structure with the T50, but we have now a more powerful motor. One of the major hardware changes is a nozzle layout. Now we are putting all the nozzles in the rear part, and which is different from the T50. And this uses the downwash more effectively to achieve much better canopy penetration. And T70P shares the same high flow rate and maximum speed as the T100. The very small difference between the T100 and T70P is that the T70P has a slightly smaller payload and battery. And the last one, the T25P, we designed it for the individual operators, for those managing very separated, fragmented process. So Luka, could you please help me to, thank you. And here we can see some numbers. I'll show you this. These are numbers from our test in different regions, covering the crops from the maize, the soybean, sugarcane, in the South America and Southeast Asia. So we calculate the actual area covered per flight divided by the total cycle time, which includes the time spent on the ground for refilling and battery swaps. So when we look at the scenario 1, which we consider an operation on medium-sized cropland with a 400-meter flight length, the T100 shows about an 8% efficiency increase over the T70P, reaching 27 hectares per hour. But in scenario 2, in this scenario, we could consider it as a larger scale field with a 800-meter flight length and a higher speed operation. So in this environment, the T100, the difference between the efficiency is bigger. The T100 reaches nearly 40 hectares per hour. So for the spraying efficiency, I've learned that maybe in some regions they share the difference that they shared is not that notable, but I can see that for the spreading system, the T100 shows a very an incredible advantage in spreading. So we can take a very quick math. So if we take a common fertilizer rate, which is 200 to 300 kilograms per hectare. So with the T70P, you will have to land and refill 5 times to cover 1 hectare at a 300 kilogram rate. But with the T100, you would only need 3 flights to get the same job done, which is a reduction of 40% in taking off and landings. And let's switch to the next page, please. Thank you. So with this video, we can see here the main increasement, the changes that we've brought with the new models in the spraying system, the spreading system, and our brand new function, the lifting system. So for the spraying system, the technology is basically we apply the technology in T50, sorry. But what we've done is that we enlarge the chamber of the pump, so we get a larger flow rate in the new generation, and we also applied new nozzles for T100, T70P, and T25P. And in spreading system, we added auger mechanism to handle different types of materials. The T100 and T70P come with a set of interchangeable augers, and for T25P, it also has its own augers. But for T100 and T70P, they can share the same components. So you don't really need to remember all the sizes, but because we offer different auger sizes to match different granular size, from small seeds like grass or alfalfa to large heavy fertilizers. So for the operator, it's a quick switch. It allows you to use the same drone for a variety of tasks: seeding, fertilizing, or even forest restoration, which I've seen case in Portugal, maintaining a very high precision regardless of the material type. And for the lifting system, this expands the drone's use from just spraying to heavy-duty transport. But now we don't have too much cases of lifting system in the overseas market, but it's we have a really rapidly growing market in China's domestic market with the lifting system. And to make the lifting system safe and efficient, we've integrated several smart features. The first one is the automatic flight. You don't need to manually pilot the drone for every trip. You could just mark the loading and unloading points on your remote controller, or you just synchronize the data from, because we have a function to support you create a collaboration group, and the other team member could use the QR code to join the group by their smartphone, and they could just mark the points on the smartphone and synchronize it to the pilot. The drone handles the flight path automatically. And for stability, we've added a triaxial force sensor. This allows for real-time weighing and auto-balance control. The drone, basically, it will sense the weight and the swing of the load in real time, and adjust its flight altitude to stay stable. And even if the cargo shifts slightly, the system will just compensate to ensure a safer flight for the lifting job. So let's continue to the next slide. Thank you. And this page we can see it's also the most important feature that we've applied to our flagship model T100, which is a LiDAR. So we can see in these two videos, firstly, with the LiDAR, we can see how it handles the thin obstacles, specifically power lines. We can see in this video, including all the leaves in the trees in the mountain, we can see it with better details presented. So the traditional millimeter wave reader uses a longer wavelength, which can sometimes miss or see through thin wires, but LiDAR, it has a much higher spatial resolution. We've posted a performance of T100, avoiding the wire lines, the power lines, in our official website. And the LiDAR of T100 could generate 300,000 points, the laser points. With the laser beams emitted by the LiDAR, it can hit and reflect off even a single thin wire with a high precision. So for the pilot, this means the drone can detect and visualize power lines much earlier and more accurately, which will add a critical layer of safety when the pilots are flying at a high speed or in a complex environment. So what's more, with the LiDAR, with T100, you could also do the mapping work with LiDAR. And let's compare the LiDAR mapping with the traditional RGB visual mapping. There are three main advantages with LiDAR. So first of all, the precision, because LiDAR generates a direct point cloud, unlike RGB photo that can be affected by shadows or lack of contrast. LiDAR captures the exact structure of the terrain and crop canopy with higher details. We can see it in the video. And then RGB mapping requires the remote controller to stitch hundreds of photos together, which requires a lot of computing power. But with LiDAR, the data is already spatial. This means the remote controller can process the map much faster with less effort. And finally, we could see with because the data is lighter and the processing is faster, you can complete the mapping and start your mission almost immediately. And let's continue with the next page. So we can see here, I made a brief conclusion of our main upgrades in software part. So first of all is a smart assist, which means with our new generation aircraft drones, the drone could recognize and memorize the position of obstacles by itself. And the pilots could just use the position of the obstacles in their next task, which means they could save it. And then we add some new functions to improve the operation of the whole, to make the operation more smooth. First, we add the function, the field custom flight route, which means you can manually add waypoints, create a free form flight path. This is perfect for scenarios like shrimp or crab ponds or intercropping fields where you need to follow a specific line rather than a whole area. And then we have plot merging. So you, with this function, you could select up to 10 plots and merge them into a single mission and generate no spray zones for the gaps between them. And the last one, the continuous multiple field plan. With this function, the pilots will no longer need to walk the entire parameter in a closed loop. They can just add boundary points in any order and connect them flexibly on the screen. And let's move, And with the AR alert, which means we have some AR instruction in the remote controller to give the pilots a better visualization, better sensing of the obstacles, which is in the environment, to have a safer experience in operating the drones. And the last one is the lifting mode, which is the independent mode that we added in this new generation. But only when you install the lifting system module, this mode could be activated in the remote controller. And it's a quite different UI. You can see the weight of the cargo, the speed, and the height. And also the function that I mentioned to create a group to let other team members to join the planification of the delivery path. So let's move to the next page, please. Thank you so much. So on this final slide, I want to share a real success story from our distributor in South Africa. So this is I think it's a perfect example for how the hardware and software partnership works in the field. But it's a bit among all the application of Agremo, I think this is a quite basic one. But we can take a look about the comparison of the cost. So by using Agremo's AI algorithms, the team was able to pinpoint exact weight locations with incredible accuracy. So instead of blanket spraying the entire field, the DJI drone only treated the infested spots, and the results were massive. We can see here they achieved up to 85% cost savings compared to the traditional ground machinery. And what I want to mention about the drone application is not just about money, and it's a huge step for sustainable agriculture, because we are using fewer chemicals and protecting the soil. And also, we see the drone as a critical supplement to ground machinery. When the ground is too muddy after rain, or when crop grow too tall for tractor to enter, our drones can still get the job done without damaging or compacting the soil. So this my content for today. And when we're talking about what's new, what's next, I couldn't tell you about the details, but I can tell you that we are still focusing on continuously improving operational efficiency, and also for improving our algorithm to optimize the obstacle avoidance. Yeah. Thank you. That's all my content for today.
Thank you, Shin, and yeah, really impressive things from the DJI. I have to say, well done for all these new tools. That it really looks impressive, and I believe very useful for all the spraying operations. So congrats to your DJI team. I believe that right now it's very advanced solutions. Okay, let's go to our my dear friend Kamden Crum, co-owner of the MidwestAir drones. Kamden is I would say, next generation of the farmers, seventh generation. Am I right? Seventh generation farming around 5,000 acres in Ohio. My good friend, and as I mentioned, next generation of the new advanced farmers. So, yeah, please, Kamden, floor is yours.
Oh, awesome. Well, I want to thank Agremo for having me on, and I want to thank DJI for being on here as well. So just to give a little bit of background, like Luka said, from a seventh generation farm down here in Southern Ohio. We grow corn, soybeans, wheat, cattle. We have some hay as well. And our family also has a farm supply store, and this year is our 50th anniversary. And it was kind of through our deep-rooted history of agriculture that we were able to start MidwestAir. And with MidwestAir, we've been using and selling spray drones all over the United States. And we've also been using scout drones paired with the Agremo software, and have been selling that as well. Go ahead. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I was wanting to talk about a couple of use cases, and actually, if you could go back to that last slide, one of the things that I really like about Agremo, before I get started about some of the things that we've done, is the reports. So whenever you do a field or do a job and do an analysis, these reports you can send these reports via PDF to your customer, to your insurance agency, whoever. And these reports are extremely phenomenal because they give you clear and concise data that's easy to use, that shows you all the data you need and nothing you don't, and it also gives you the map. So you can do a really good analysis just off of a two-page paper, which is the simplicity of it is what makes it so great. When I feel like there's a lot of things that get overcomplicated, where this makes all the data that much easier to utilize. And then we can go to the next slide, please. So this past year, one of the use cases that we had for Agremo was a replant decision. So this past spring, we had an extremely tough spring. It was extremely wet, and the field conditions were horrible. And we had a farm. It was a rather big farm. We had to break it off into chunks because the terrain is so extreme. But the farm itself is about 300 acres, and we were having to go through and replant it because of the poor weather, the poor planting conditions. We had poor germination. So what we were able to do was at the V2 growth stage with our corn, we were able to take a DJI Mavic 3T and make a stand count map, make a map of our farm, and then we were able to take that data and upload it to Agremo and get a stand count. And then we were able to see every single spot where the germination was poor, where it was good, exactly how many plants were counted in the field. And we were able to do this over the entire farm, which was able to allow us to isolate the problem and make all the necessary adjustments to fix it. So with this powerful tool, we were able to figure out every single spot that needed redone. And how we would normally do it on a big field like this, we would normally take the tractor and planter and drive up and back every single row, 24 rows at a time, which takes forever and ever. It takes about as long to replant the field as it does to initially plant the field. It's extremely time consuming, extremely frustrating, because you're driving up and back and you're smashing over corn that does have a good stand, and you're never really sure whether or not you're doing a good job because you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants and you don't know which spots are really good, which spots are really bad. It makes everything very tricky. And with this, we were able to isolate all the problems and see all the problem areas. We could even upload a variable rate planting map directly to our John Deere Op Center, and we would be able to develop that map and have it on the screen of the tractor. So the operator would be looking at his tractor computer and know every single spot that needed replanted. And we can have an exact prescription dose of how many seeds per acre on those particular acres that needed planted. So this was able to take the guesswork out of our replanting decisions, where to plant, where to not to plant. And I would say overall, probably, I mean, we had to replant probably 30 to 40% of the field. And if we had not had Agremo, we would have just done an abysmal job. And I was able to go back after and go over the field to apply nitrogen, and just the entire field just looked beautiful. It looked phenomenal. So, with that being said, the job was really well done thanks to the Agremo stand count and the DJI Mavic drone. And then this kind of shows you where you're able to upload it directly to your John Deere Op Center account. And the fact that that's all integrated makes everything so much simpler, because I can put it in the organization in the exact field, because every field has its own specific boundary. And that's how we're able to get these variable rate maps to pop up on the computer of the tractor. And that integration makes everything seamless and easy. And then we have another use case, and we have actually done this the past few years. There have been misapplications in wheat fields for a customer. So, like I said, we have a farm supply store as well, and we go out and we sell fertilizer and sell chemicals, and we sell our services. So we'll spray customers' fields, and we'll spread their fertilizer as well. Well, with this, we had the nitrogen that we had at our store. It was old, and it didn't spread very well. So we had a missed application when spreading, and uh, in addition to that, the field was pretty uneven in general. The growth of the field was pretty uneven, which led to some really poor spots in the field and would have brought the average down substantially. So in the flag leaf stage, we were able to take our scout drone, our Mavic 3T, once again, take it out and fly it over the field, make a map of the field, and take it and upload it to Agremo, and we were able to get a vigor analysis to show where all the good spots were and where all the poor spots were, and we were able to make variable rate maps based off of that vigor analysis and upload it directly to a DJI T40. And then with our DJI T40, we were able to apply slow release nitrogen fertilizer, and it evened out the field. So there was streaks, there was yellow spots. It looked horrible. The yield would have gone down quite a bit. And with this variable rate application, we were able to fix all of the low spots, all of the poor spots, all the drown out spots, all the streaks in the field. We were able to make it nice and even dark green. So by the time the farmer went out and was able to harvest it, they ended up having an average of 90 bushels an acre over the whole farm, which for our area this growing season was actually really, really good. And another feature that was really utilized well in this scenario was the satellite imaging. So if we have a boundary for the fields, and yeah, this is a map of the variable rate tool that we used. The satellite imagery takes a picture of that field every single week and alerts you when there's a problem. And it actually alerted us when there was a problem, when there was yellow spots in the field, so we were able to go and fix it. And is that the last slide?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey, thank you, Kamden, for your presentation and for sharing how are you using both technologies. I think it's very interesting use cases and very real life scenario that are happening to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure is mine. So yeah, shall we go to the Q&A session right now? We have a lot of questions, so let's start. What we have here from Andrew Miller, is the plant vigor green color or of leaf? related to the field analyzed, or there is an absolute scale? Yelena, this is maybe better answer for you as you're coming from the product team.
Sorry, I just answered on another question. Can you repeat? Sorry.
For the plant vigor, the green color of leaf, is it related to the field or absolute scale?
It depends. It is actually related to field condition on that field. We locally check the results. So as Luka already explained, we use several different parameters for plant vigor. And it is not just NDVI, it is more than 5 different parameters. So that's it.
Okay, then we have, okay, because I would like to find out if I can use drone technology to map and vegetation scan for large-scale carbon sequestering projects area to start is 10K acres to 160K acres. Kamden, maybe for you.
Um,
I would say yes. I mean,
Carbon sequestration projects.
yeah.
So what I think of whenever I hear that, I think of like different tillage practices and a lot of cover crops. I think 160,000 acres. That would be that's a lot. That's a lot. But 10,000 is doable. You would it would really have to be like one person's dedicated job in order to go out and do that. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable for someone. It kind of depends on on what exactly you're doing. So if the lower you are to the ground, the longer it's going to take to take all the pictures, to actually map it out, to stitch it together, and to do the analysis. But if it's higher up, we usually do higher up whenever we're doing vigor analysis and weed detection. The only time you have to get really low is whenever it's like doing stand count with corn that's, in V2, it's only like, a couple inches tall. So if you're doing, 250 feet AGL, you're able to get it over pretty quick. I would say map 120 acres in 40 minutes or so. So it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, we had comments in the chat from John Crook saying like they did in Australia, 600,000 acres lots. Well, yeah, congrats. Congrats on that. That's the huge project. Uh, okay, from the anonymous attendees, the green snap detection using RGB. Yes, all the Agremo analyses are applicable on RGB. We can process multispectral as well, but yeah, RGB is the preferred option, much faster. Okay, we have also question from Shin here in chat. That's what I seen. It seems that T100 terrain follow might not be able as good as T50. Will this possibly be an update in the near future to address this? Is this correct that T100 has the better terrain follow?
Comparing to T50, T100, and T70P, their terrain follow ability is better. So the situation that you mentioned, I think we have to see the specific cases. So maybe after the meeting, you could contact me and show you how is your test, and we could discuss maybe with more details.
Okay, we have the question from Edgar Cash about the canola. We will send you the details and the use cases. We did a lot of jobs on canola. So we have one specific analysis only for canola, the flowering. So we'll send you the details after the webinar. Okay. How uniform is the spray pattern across the spray swath? Kamden, I believe this is for you. This is an important factor from Randy Mayers.
what was the question again?
How uniform is the spray pattern across the spray swath?
Oh, so that varies. It depends on what exactly you're doing and what you set the spray swath at. So different materials spray out at different consistencies and at different widths. We like to go anywhere from 20 feet to 25 feet. Try to think. So like 4 or 5 meters wide, and keep that pretty consistently. We also like to keep the adjuvants in our tank to be very consistent. And as long as the other products are pretty similar, we found that the consistently actually works out really nice. So as long as you figure out what you're doing, like what products you're spraying, figure out their tendencies, you can get the consistency really well.
Think. You know what I would appreciate, because you're writing the questions in the chat and in the Q&A. If it would be nice if you can write it into the Q&A so we have them all in the one place. So we are answering all the questions. Okay, Shin, for you, the DJI T100 flight path is overlaid on an orthophoto image and stored in the system. Is it possible to obtain this image file for post-spray evaluation?
Sorry, I didn't quite get a question.
Is it possible to obtain the orthophoto from T100 for post-spray evaluation after the spray event? Do you see the question, Madiram?
Is in the chat?
Yeah, it was now it's in the answered. I already clicked on accidentally. I'll send it over and Madi's email so you can write a response.
Okay.
What is the flight height for plant stand count analysis, plant vigor analysis? So it depends from the drone type. We need a 2 centimeter per pixel for these early stages report, early stand counts, 2.5 centimeter per pixel for the vigor analysis. So me personally, I fly sometimes with Mavic 3 multispectral, and I'm flying on 240, 250 feet for the stand count with 75% overlapping. And for the later stages, I fly on 300. And there was no use case where we were not able to do the stand counts for any kind of field crops. I was mapping corn, wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, beets. So that would be the height, 240 feet to 300 feet. I have two questions for Shin. Okay, from Burchak. Okay, it's more about the aviation authority. When will the solution be found for the problem regarding the entry of drones into the Turkey? I guess it's more about the Turkish government.
Yes, that's right.
Are you planning to release the new multispectral model after Mavic 3M? And would you have the option for multispectral drone for Dock 3?
So we've been implementing the Mavic 3M during a long time, and actually we are doing the planification, maybe researching of the requirements in all over the world about the multispectral drone, and we are still in this planification stage. So I couldn't give you maybe the exact information that you expect, but we are working on that.
Nice. Okay, from your experience, can this service be successfully sold to farmers? And what is the most effective way to do it? I mean, we can talk from two perspectives. Me as a head of sales, we do have a lot of customers that are farmers with the drones using this technology. But on the other hand, we work with a lot of service providers. Kamden, you're also providing service for the farmers, like mapping, spraying?
Yeah, we do service providing and we use it on our own farm. We find that for in our area, we mostly service providers, even though the farmers seem to be taking to it a little bit slower, even though there's not really any reason for it. It's just kind of like a learning curve, I guess. The kind of a little bit sheepish, but honestly, I think that any farmer over like 1,500 acres should have an Agremo subscription and a scout drone. I mean, it's so difficult to actually do proper scouting. So I think that all farmers really need to have it, honestly, or have a service provider for it. Yeah.
Thank you. So, boundary point shall stored in the drone or in cloud for each spray event. Okay, same question for Madi. Madi will forward all the questions to Shin, and she will answer about these type of thing. We'll make sure that she gets it. Kamden, was the slow release fertilizer liquid or granular?
It
So,
was a liquid. It's called Sable. It's made by Rosen's, if you're familiar with that.
okay, Braden, about the support, I guess, is that question for the Agremo? For the Agremo, um, we are uh, we are working in the US and supporting US, so we can provide you any kind of the support over the phone or on the on online calls. We also spend some times in the US, but yeah.
I could speak to this one. Like anytime we ever have a problem, I think the time zone difference from we're in Eastern time is to Serbia is like a 6 hour time difference. I don't know if you guys sleep in Serbia, but it seems like we like anytime there's a problem, you guys always get back. Like it's a little bit crazy. I think what is it, 11 o'clock at night right now? So yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are really good about support.
Well, thanks for that. But yeah, we do. We have the team that is working as you saw on the map how many clients we have in the US. So we need to provide the support during your working hours. What weeds can you automatically recognize to generate spot spraying maps? Um, so we can detect the software differentiate weeds from crops. We cannot tell the specific weed type, but it's just crop versus the weeds. Can you make genuine spot spray prescription map or only general area base? Uh, Yellen, I don't know what does it mean, genuine spot spray map. You can create spot spraying map where you just use two zones, spray and not spray, or you can use the variable rates. This one is for Shin. Where to find information on file format requirements to upload a prescription into DJI remote control for VRT application? Um, Chris, if you use Agremo, when you download the variable prescription map, inside you have a folder which is called the DJI. So you just put that folder into the controller and the variable rate map will appear and the boundary will appear. So, but Shin, you can also answer where to find information on the file format.
from our side, we don't. I think for now there's no an official guide available, but you can take a reference of the Luka's answer, and I think there is so much more detailed things in the Agremo's guidance part.
Okay, I'm looking at the file right now. It's GeoTIFF and TFW for the VR, but you also need the boundary. But go to the Agremo, request the analysis, create the map, click download. You will have the DJI folder, plug it into the controller.
I will send now in chat a guide for that.
Thank you. Does DJI have a solution for navigating drones in the area where satellite navigation systems do not work well, like indoor environment? I don't know.
For the Agriculture drone, this is indoor navigation is we don't have that kind of solution.
Okay.
Okay, sorry for interrupting. Luka, please pick maybe one more question, and after that we have to close this webinar because we already extend 15 minutes.
Trying to answer all the questions. Okay, anonymous. Does the 2.5 pixel density, 75% overlapping apply to all crops? Yes, all the field crops. I read the question when T70 will be available in Australia.
Is this for Shin?
T70, when it will be available in Australia?
Oh, sorry. So I think you should consult the local distributor there.
Okay, so thank you all for participating. And don't worry if we did not answer your question right now here in this live session. We'll make sure that we will send the answer on email. We will share these questions and with the Kamden and Shin and try to answer as many questions as possible. As soon as possible. We'll answer to all the questions. Thank you very much again, Kamden and Shin, and thank you all participants for being here. I hope that you enjoyed our webinar, and for all the people from the US, Kamden, you're also coming to the Kansas City Spring Conference.
Yes, sir. You better believe it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Looking forward to see you in person. We'll be there. We will also have the booth. Both Kamden and I will be there, and we can meet in person and discuss more about this interesting topic. So thank you all. Have a great day, and thanks again.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.